Hello, everybody. How's it going? Good evening. Hubert, hello. How are you? Shones, hello. MX Blacks on PP plate. Easy choice. Harry Smallwood, yo. ODM, hello. How are you? It's a great combo. Yeah, maybe it works. We'll see. Well, let's decide based on our config over here. Yeah. Finally, a sound test with normal switches, not HMX Rain Dance Refraction Matcha 9000s. That's a good one. I love that comment. That was on one of the, I think it was the Vertex Intro S100 video. Someone commented that. It was quite hilarious. Hey, what's up, Qwertykeys? So I guess you'll have to swing by so I can steal your wing nut. Yeah. How's it going? I mean, good to see you all. Let us get started. So as you can see, I have a bunch of switches over here that I've just taken out for you guys to help me pick. But I guess so tonight we're gonna be building a Platinum PT750. I believe Alex built one, Scooped Bar built one. I think Patty Shinchin Wong is building one on Friday. But it's a board designed by Percent Studio. It's actually a continuation of the previous design in a way. Like they had done a, was it a 65%? I think that's right. Percent Platinum PT. Was it 660? I forget what it was called. 650? I don't know what it was called. 990, my bad. Yeah, the Percent Platinum PT990 was quite similar to this, so it's kind of like a continuation of that basis of the design, but it does have some key changes to it, in particular like with some of the curvature features and whatnot. But yeah, I remember that one had run through Click Clack IO some time back. I think like a year and a half ago, maybe, or like a year ago. It was a decent while back. And then this time we have this 75% version of that board, that kind of like the same line. So that one, so this one in particular is going to be manufactured by Owlab and distributed by Qwertykeys. So they've partnered up with the folks over at Qwertykeys to do all the logistic process. So, you know, if you've had a previously poor experience with Percent Studio for whatever reason, at least the logistics are being handled by someone reputable enough in the community, in my opinion. And I think you shouldn't have a problem. But alas, I did see that the price point of the board is around like $499, like $500 basically. So it's kind of expensive for, versus all the other kits that are currently out there. But it does have quite a lot of machining involved, and so I think the cost is justified simply just by how much it actually costs to make it. But nonetheless, a cool design to show. So let's begin by unboxing everything, and then we can go from there, choose switches, and then go from there. Yeah. So I believe they are planning on doing the release for this board in early March, either at the end of this month or early March. And they said that they're going to do a small batch anyway, so it's not they don't have plans to do a very large batch sort of thing for this particular board. And so this is definitely going to be for those who have that specific interest in this design. And so here we have some gaskets, which I believe go on the plate. Then we have two different plates. This one is an FR4 plate with like flex cuts in between. It's quite flexy. So we have an FR4 plate. We have a polypropylene plate. So nice and solid. No flex cuts on this one. So kind of like two opposites for this. So we have a flex cut plate in FR4 and a no flex cut plate in polypropylene. Then PCB, there's two kinds of PCBs for this board. There is a no flex cut PCB and a flex cut PCB. It appears to me I got a flex cut version. And I was looking at some of the other content out there already, and it appeared Mr. Alex Otos and Scootbar, both of them got the flex cut version of the PCB. Personally, I would have wished to get the non-flex cut just because I kind of have a better basis of what this compares to if it's no flex cut, because, you know, regular PCBs tend to not have these large flex cuts. But yeah, this one has quite a lot of flex because of this. So I'm expecting this to feel quite soft in general, especially if we don't use any kind of foam. And so we of course do have you know, P foam and case foam and plate foam, the usual foam pieces. So those are also available in the kit. Lamp, hello, how are you? How's your day? And then finally, of course, we have the keyboard inside of the box. Feels weird seeing Percent Studio in the Big 25. Yeah, I mean, but, you know, at least it's different from before, right? Like, I think before they used to do a lot of this fulfillment through some specific vendors or themselves, and this time you kind of are seeing it through Qwertykeys. So at least I think there's a bit of insurance in that any kind of past issues couldn't be addressed by the new vendors handling it. So let's go through the case though. Percent PCBs were terrible. Yes, I remember trying the 990, which is a 65% version of this board, and this one seems fine. It just uses a STM32F072 chip, so just an STM32 chip, pretty standard for these guys. So, you know, this will be QMK and VIA compatible. Doesn't look like there's a wireless module or anything like that, so this is going to be all wired. It does use kind of like the more standard, like on the Neo boards, you have the pogo pin magnetic attachment daughter board, so it has that. Yes, they are using Owlab menu, yeah. So let's open up the case here. So let's, I see there's like an anti-static, or not anti-static, what is it, like bottom out thingy. Anyway, looks like we have a loose screw. It's okay, no big deal. You can reattach it later. Put it aside for a sec. So here we have the case. So it's very curved and large. How did Dolch decal come out? Look at this board actually. The 75% is about as wide, so about as long as the Dolch decal. And the Dolch decal is also quite large as it is. So it has a decent, it has some thick side bezels. And it does have a sort of curved lower edge actually. Slightly. How did Dolch decal come out? It came out pretty nice. I mean, you can actually check out the VOD for the previous one, but it's pretty good. This actually sounds pretty nice in my opinion. You know, like it actually sounds pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, it's actually quite good on this particular board. Maybe the low typing angle helps too. Kind of like low typing angle. The inside's pretty tight. It's a really hefty case. Like this board, this Dolce Kill was like 3 kilos unbuilt, so it was pretty heavy. And it has no weight, by the way. It's just alu. It's just all alu. It's like alu, and then alu plate slapped in there with a PCB. Boom, done. So, yeah. All right. So yeah. Anyway, this is this board. Let's look at the bottom side here. Actually, take out this little. Can I? Yeah. Okay. This is just the anti so it doesn't short. So it has a protector for the bottom. So I think this is blue, just tinted blue. Yeah, okay. So it is a mirror finish. It's a mirror finish bottom. Had a giant weight. It weighed 10 pounds. Yeah. Oh wait, is this focusing? No, I think it's on manual. Okay, there, auto. PT750%. We have bump-ons. Have 2 circular ones and 2 long ones like that. Put fingies all over it. And I believe this one has the, what is that? What do they call it? The ball catch mechanism for the case. So this one you can just open it like this. Right? Yeah. So it uses the ball catch mechanism for the plate. I mean for the top and bottom pieces. Has 2 ball catch latches at the top, 2 at the bottom, 1 on each side. And then has our little pogo pin connector. Similar to that PT990, this uses these sort of like gasket leaf spring, like kind of like metal, actual metal leaf spring for the plate, and then like little gaskets just kind of sit on top of these on the plate. So it's gonna be very, very trampoline like. This one, yeah. See if you take a look. This one, they look like this. They're just like screwed on. Like they're like actual little springs that are screwed on. And they're like that. So, yeah, I expect this to be like quite bouncy and such. I think underneath is just the weight, so it's a steel weight. So it's just screwed on by these bolts. Looks like the screw that was slightly loose came from here. So let's just put that back on. Oh, I see. It's just an attachment screw for the bottom portion. Yeah. Just retightening. Sometimes things get a little loose from traveling. So screws sometimes do loosen up a little bit from all the vibrations and stuff. So just retightening a little bit of that. Okay, cool. Should be good enough. All right. How much will it ping though? I'm not sure. If it pings a lot, I guess we can give it, haha, the ping award. Just kidding. I'm sorry. Gotta love some leafy springs, yeah. Can I have a wing nut, big bro? You can come and check it out if you want. I mean, I'll be bringing it to all the meetups. Let's see. Okay, pretty easy though. Okay, a little tight mechanism, but it works. I'll see you in June, maybe earlier if I go to New York. Oh yeah, that'll be cool. For real, I thought the GH post was going to end with you asking if anyone wanted to have a GH Community Award ceremony. I think that would be doable if there were more units, right? So I mean, I should probably talk about it. So they're right here. I have the 2 here. So the 2 others. So there's 2. So there's 6 of them. There's a gold and a silver one here. These are marked like in the post. Small markings, like very small on the side of the wall. Tiny markings really. So 2 of them are being sent out to the already selected winners, who were owed keys before. That's Qwertykeys and the Biffle. So they'll be receiving those pretty soon. And then there's 2 others that are allocated kind of like to future awardees. Keyboard Institute is sort of like the KBI. They're called Keyboard Institute. They're sort of like the I don't know how to explain it. Like they're like the group from that, like offshoot from the Qwerty.net, sort of falling apart in some ways. You know, the website actually like really barely works. I managed to post on the Qwerty, but it was kind of laggy. But anyway, sort of it's like a vestige of that and like a growing community at that. And so 2 of them are sort of like delegated to them to handle. So they'll be handling things from here on about those 2. In the process of me acquiring these, I actually did ask, like initially. So this was actually like, you know, this was actually not just all, like it was not just all me who did like spearheaded the effort or anything like that. I just kind of carried it through. Initially someone, you know, some people gave me information about, you know, the Qwerty's ownership changing and whatnot, and you know, I was encouraged to reach out, and so I reached out, and so, you know, this all kind of worked out after like it took like a year really of figuring things out. And at the time when we received these keys, I did ask like if, you know, if I should keep any of them, if at all. Not so much like as a payment or anything, but mostly because, you know, I also do collect keycaps, and also because, you know, there's only so few, so it's like it's not nice for me to lay claim on anything if, you know, there's a you know, high purpose for them in particular. And so I was, you know, told it was fine to keep these 2, and so keeping a gold unit and a silver unit, and then the other 4 silver units that are available. 2 of them are pre-allocated, and 2 of them are going to be designated for a future awardee. Those future awardees will be, you know, kind of similar to perhaps previous prizes. Like it's going to be maybe something vintage keyboard focused, probably. Could be like a big find that they've done and they've managed to restore things, or big coordination effort. You know, it could be anything, but the criteria will be dictated by Keyboard Institute, and so like I won't be responsible in handling anything regarding like how that's going to happen. It's mostly just going to be all of them. You know, there's going to be a kind of like a collective community effort in their community to figure out sort of like where things will go from there. If they will have, you know, the winglet is a symbol at the end of the day. It is a keycap. It is an artisan keycap, right? It was made, you know, for the Qwerty's first owner, Webwit. He commissioned these, and these were commissioned in large numbers. So there's quite a few out there actually. There's like dozens, right? Like probably like close to, I don't know, I'm gonna say like almost 50 more. There's quite a few of them out there, and so yeah, so the future awardees will be selected kind of like based on their merits in the community, whatever that might be. But yeah, these will be traveling with me though. Like they'll be coming to meetups. Like obviously, like, you know, I'll be keeping them around, but you know, they're marked. So if they go anywhere, like you'll know because the mark is there and it's pretty much permanent. Like this is a chemical agent that's essentially bonded to the plastic of the polyurethane of the key, and so it's virtually impossible unless you like rip it off. Like that's the only way. Like you have to damage the keycap to remove it. That was the original idea. Some of the first kind of draft ideas that we had was similar to in Clack Factory, right? Clack Factory is a maker of this keycap. For keycaps that he would designate as like off from the intended color, he would call them factory second keycaps, or F2s. And for those, he would actually drill a hole into the cap wall, so like in the back or something, like, you know, like a small hole, like a small drill hole that sort of designated that it was not necessarily B stock in terms of quality, but B stock in terms of off from the intended color. That, you know, let's say he wanted to go for a royal blue, it was off from that royal blue, and then that would be a factory second cap from that batch, and it would have a little drilled hole on the keycap to designate that it was essentially like a B stock, sort of like off the intended purpose. And so that was actually the first idea, one of the first ideas we had. Another, like, you know, we had other ideas like, do we laser etch? But you know, laser etching, the problem is you apply heat. And so if you apply heat, then you're talking about possible reactions or further destruction of the material. These are old. Like, you know, these keycaps are now anywhere from 13 to 15 years old. I don't know how long. I mean, the commissions, you know, the first one arrived in 2012. But it could be older than that design wise, and so they're pretty old. And so, you know, not sure when they are exactly made, but you know, with age, things like this do become more fragile and stuff. So it's just like a thing of consideration. But yeah, need to save money because of Asia in April. Yeah, right. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of like the full story here. You know, hopefully people found it interesting, and I think the overall reception for that post was pretty positive. There has been some like criticism within parts of the community, I think, like specifically like one particular group of people, you know, thinks that, you know, it's either too selfish of me to keep these two, right? Or, you know, basically that it's disguised as an altruistic act, but, you know, it's selfish at the end of the day. Which, you know, I get it. It may seem that way. Because, yeah, I do collect things after all. So, anyway, so that's that. Enough of that and more of the build. So, we have two plates. I can talk about sort of so Scoop Bar actually did a MX Black and polypropylene build with the flex cut PCB and no foam, an HMX Guava build on an F4 plate with all of the foam. Alex did HMX Butter switches, not sure what they exactly are, but HMX with polypropylene, also flex cut PCB, and with some foam. I think no PE foam was the only thing. But yeah. I'm sure they say and they're in the same position, they would do the same thing. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's, so it's like, it really isn't about intent. Well, so like the thing is this, right? Like, yeah, the thing is none of the people involved in this whole process was obligated to make it public. It was a private ordeal. Obviously the reason we all felt a prerogative, in particular me, I felt a strong prerogative to put a post about it, because of the documentation. Because it's good to have public knowledge that these are marked, right? Because if someone, let's say like this gets lost, or someone peddles it, someone sells it, you know, and it gets found, and you're wondering what the hell the mark is about, and there's no documentation about it, then you know it's kind of like lost knowledge there. And so like it could have just passed in private, but I feel like it would be kind of weird if it were in some ways, because you know like the modification process was very, you know, had a purpose. So there's that. How are you doing today, Lord Opus? I'm doing all right, thank you. I'll never forget someone shitting on Prototype as Jay for commenting in the subreddit post saying he would cover someone's exit scam GMK set. You're just doing this for attention. Next time, just PM the OP. Wow. Oof. Jeez, okay, bud. I mean, yeah, he's of course doing it for attention because, you know, you're trying to help someone out. And, like, it's just part of the process. I mean, yeah, sure, he could have just DM'd them too, I guess, yeah. But what's the harm? Anyway, don't people who commit acts of philanthropy and altruism also do it in under the scrutiny of the public eye? It's kind of the same thing at the end of the day. So you know, I obviously figure that there would be some sort of talk about it. So, but you know, it actually has been pretty positive, so I have no regrets. Igor, hello, Igor. All right, so we have these two plates. We have, obviously we can use solid foam. Maybe the foam might be good to use just because there's so much flex cut going on here. For switches, I kind of separated them by linears and non-linears. So for linears, I got HMX FJ400s, HMX Game 1989s. We got these Lumen Key Astral switches, and then we got some Gap Milk Yellows and some Alpacas. I decided not to bring like RME Blacks because I think Scoop Bar already pretty much covered it, and I think it's probably fine not to. And then there's a few other builds that a few other people are doing anyway. Like Patty is doing a build. I think Apiary is doing a build. A Keynote, I'm not sure who they are. Like I haven't interacted with them. Then there's Wabi Sabi. I think they're from Japan. And Simulator Tech, whom I also have not interacted with before, but they were on the list on the PT750 Notion page. Yeah, do the FJ400. Yeah, you guys feel like it. And then there's the cotton candies and blush for tactiles. So these are just light tactiles. This is by Duroc. I think cotton candies are JWK, so I guess sort of similar. So FJ400, you think? These are pre-lubed. These are lubed. These are lubed. These are also pre-lubed. Actually, they're all lubed for the switches. Should we do these FJ400s? You guys dig these? These are long pole HMX linears. These are like not quite long pole in the sense that they are 4mm travel. So these sound a bit different from the other ones. These sound a bit. These have the full travel, but they do still have that bottom out. All right, we can do the FJ400. That's a fine suggestion. If nobody has an opinion, that's okay with me. So it looks like a quieter evening today. Eric, what's good, man? How are you? Dropping by to say hi?
Oh, well, thank you.
Hope you had a good day today, man. Alright, so we got HMX FJ400s. What switch shall we use? Shall we use FR4 or PP? Buenas, don Diego. Ru, ¿cómo estás? Actually, wait, didn't I? Oh, whatever. It's fine. They just started for me? Wait, what? Are you abroad? Yep, on the Shinkansen or what? Wow. Okay, Rich. Nice. That sounds fun. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, alright. I'll just leave these here. I'll need them later. Such a gigantic forehead, I can actually put stuff on there. That's great, isn't it? It will be used soon. Ah, yes, I'm very excited. Very excited. So excited. All right. I guess we haven't chosen the plate yet, but we can choose it when we get there. Let's press some stabs. Wait a minute, is this a 7U? No, it's a 65. Okay. All right. Not this terrible layout again? Yes, it has the full right shift. It's the longer 75. I just put wob on my ogre. Oh, nice. I didn't even know you had an ogre, actually. It was a regret buy. It was like 200. Honestly, it's kind of ass. Oh yeah, you don't like it? Too stiff. Too low angle, maybe. I think you said you didn't like low angle stuff, did you? It's just boring. Yeah, yeah. That's fair. Oh, Mr. Alex. What a fat raid over here. Welcome. Viewers from Alex's stream, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. What were you up to today, Mr. Alex, if you're still around? I know that you usually leave. William, I came. Anathar, hello. Not Nathar, Anatar. Anat, hello. Jishi, Rufus, what's good? Comic 60, hello. Still rocking a Dolce Kill, love that thing? Yeah, isn't it pretty cool? I think it's pretty cool. It's chonky and it sounds pretty good. I actually really like how the MTNU sounds. I haven't tried GMK on it yet, like GMK like chair profile stuff, but MTNU and it slaps. It's pretty good. Alright, let's get some 205. I meant like I came to watch the stream. Oh, okay. Surely William just came to watch the stream. Alright. Hey, Cozy Ghost, hello. How are you? Let's see. Also, do wonder if 1.2 millimeter would make the Ogre sound a bit more interesting. That would be interesting. Isn't Ogre compatible with H60 type PCBs? That might actually be kind of interesting, yeah. Or even like different material stuff for the internals. Instead of like standard 1.6 and Lube. It is? I have a purple nurple? Oh, cool. Yeah, that might work. I'll try soft plate 1.2? Yeah, do it. Yeah, I actually do wonder. Speaking of 1.2, is this PCB 1.2? I need to check. I'll check in just a bit. I think it might be, but I'm not sure. I have creams on Alu, very basic, but I don't mind the sound. Oh, got it. Kind of loud, isn't it? Because of the creams. Super thocky. Got it. I see. Thocky, huh? Tea hockey. Not too loud? Tay Hockey. That's the rebrand. It's definitely closer to my 116 sound as those are both Alu. Okay, got it. Have you ever tried a gasket double low lamp? Those are like more hollow sounding because they're like they have a lot more space in there in the case. Loving the music? I'm glad. Is the music loud, by the way, or is it just the right volume? Because if it's loud, if it's loud or too soft, I can raise it up the volume a little. Just right? Okay, good. I'm sometimes unsure about what it might sound to people actually listening in. okay. Good. That's good to know. Gasket, nah, I got offered one recently for free. Passed. Oh, okay. Cool. But yeah, if you ever try it, it kind of... It's an interesting board in terms of like it's a little different because it's kind of tall and kind of like bigger in the case. So it kind of does remind me of those full alu builds a lot. It also doesn't have a weight inside. But yeah, I think the price it goes for in the market is probably fair for one. What stabs are we using today? We are using some cherry clip-ins. Just good old cherry clip-ins. Just clipped and lubed cherry clip-ins. Just the good old standard ones. I want to try a Type B. Oh. Type B, I remember trying it and it was pretty nice actually. I think Type B would be one of my boards to get if I wanted a true 6U MX HHKB layout board. It was pretty sweet. Do you build many boards off stream? Yes, I do. Well, these days it's been a little quieter, but I would say I still typically build a couple every week or so. Nice Dolch, thank you. You can yell every now and then to see if we're paying attention. I don't need to do that. I know you guys can put me in the background and that's totally cool. Waiting for my Proto 60 to come in. Time to pay Mr. Lightning Keywords to build it. You don't have to pay me for it. I mean... As in, like, why don't you build it yourself? Aren't you excited for your own builds? But I mean, I'll be happy to take a look at it. I like seeing new stuff. Always. It's always fun. Hi, Mr. Kupo. How are you? Glad that Xavier Tut is home. Thank you. I'm glad about it too. I'm glad the board wasn't lost. Honestly, that's the more important. Glad the board was intact and fine. Lamp. More eyes on it? I don't even know if I'll run in today's market. Fair. Yeah, I guess maybe just keep it a proto. I mean, it's for yourself, right? After all, like the whole thing. The whole project is really just for yourself, right? Diego is first monitor content. The days where people would build for free for content. I mean, some people build for free still. I don't know if they do it for content. They do it for fun. But there certainly was a period of time when people did do it for content specifically. Like for the purpose of having something to publish. Oh yes, I need to update the build command. Is there a mod in here? I'm not sure. I'll do it if it's a hassle. Just need to draw up this wire. After I'm done with this wire, I'll do it. What do I need to do? Oh, hi. It's exclamation edit CMD, edit command, and then you do exclamation build, and then you copy in the details and then you just copy in the whole spiel. But yeah, I just wanted to update the build command with the build details, like FJ400. I guess we haven't decided on the plate. Do we want an FR4 plate or a polypropylene plate? PP plate or FR4? I don't mind either way. I guess this build will be very similar to Alex's, actually. Now that I think about it. He did HMX butter? Question mark? On polypropylene. PP good? PP cause PP? Thank you. Okay, PP sounds good then. I mean, if you guys are fine with it, then that's cool. Thank you, ODM. Look good? Yeah. I got another tray. Boss sold me copper XSL nest for cheap. Oh, nice. I always thought about getting one, but I didn't want to spend the money. You know what I mean? Because I think retail, it goes for quite a bit, right? It's kind of pricey. I didn't want to spend the money, so I decided against it. Yeah, his Lamb's boss is OK Rich. It's actually kind of funny. It's kind of funny that it is your boss, in fact. Although, you know, actually I do know a couple of other like boss employee sort of relationship in the hobby that isn't like you know, like that's not like a keyboard business, right? Like that it's like an actual job outside of keyboards, like outside of retail specifically. I think that's the key part, outside of retail. Because technically, what's that? Mike, right? You know, MG Sickler, right? Mike. Novelty's Mike is technically, you know, Alex's boss, right? What country do you live in? I live in the United States. And also, Captain Sterling, hello, welcome. Thanks for the raid. Wow, Alex and Captain Sterling raiding today. Thank you so much, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Like you being our senpai, please. My middle manager to be is into boards too. Oh, really? Wow. It's an inside job. Whole company is full of keyboard people. Might as well rebrand to become a keyboard company. Red Gaff, Red GSK, Red 910RE. Wait a minute. We all know who this is. You literally just outed them. It's not Sloth? What? Who has all these red boards? Isn't there like one person who likes all these red boards too? Well, I mean, actually, maybe not. It's exactly? What? That's crazy. Really? That's cool though. Okay. No, he sold his boards, so it's not them. Okay, never mind. I don't know. I'm not sure. Hold on, I need to see if this is this 1.2? This looks thinner. Oh yeah, this is 1.2, I think. Okay, I guess we need some. This didn't come with shims, did it? Nope, I don't see shims. Okay, I need some shims. PCB shims. Will these fit? I think it should be okay, right? Okay. Man, I suck at putting these shims every time. You guys like, you know, the PCB shims. I'm so terrible at putting these on. I wonder if you can 3D print shims? Yeah, I think you can, right? Because they are what? They're like 0.4 millimeters at most. Or actually no, like maybe like 0.6 at most, but 0.4 is like the average, right? I used to use my friend's 3D printed films that he made. Those were actually really nice. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, films are what, 0.15 thick? I mean, I guess they can be thicker, but I think if they're gonna be plastic, preferably not as thick. I think people do up to what, 0.3 I've seen for thickness. It was PetG Films. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen the 3D printed stuff out there. I mean, like other people have done it. I think 3D printed Switch films. Who's that? Who did it? Was it Idyllic from Australia? I think he did it. I've seen a few people do the 3D printed film thing. I mean, it works. It works. Films are cheap enough, I wouldn't do it unless I was desperate. Yeah, I feel that. I feel the same way about it myself, but some people just have access to the material, so it's like the okay, well, I guess I'll just try it out, and if it works, then they just kind of are like, oh well, you know, get to save myself the $5 or however much they cost per pack, right? But yeah, you do have a point there. Would like to try with nylon CF sometime. Huh. Wow, I'm really struggling with these shims, huh? Oh, there you go. I got it. Got it. Got it on finally. That Dolce is like parking next to a Ram truck. Share some space, damn it. Real. Okay. Two more Seriously, just these trims alone taking half the time. Diego, how do you have your top camera positioned so it doesn't shake? I have a C-stand. I mean, I can show you. I literally have a mirror next to me. My mirror right here. I have a mirror. I have a C-stand. You see that? Camera is mounted on it with a ball mount, like a tripod, you know, thingy. And then there's a C-stand over there. I need to get the space for one. Yeah, they take up space. Not to mention you also have to put counterweight on it, so kind of a pain in the butt, you know. I've hit myself with the sandbag on it many times. Many times. I mean, you can do what some others do, which is like it depends where your desk is located, but some people do like some kind of wall mount situation, which I guess is also doable. But I rent, and I'm also not next to a wall like that, so can't do that. Can't real Asian parents will get crucified? Fair. Oh, parents' home? Yeah, family home, different story, I guess. I guess some things you would have more liberty if you manage to negotiate it out. But I get it. Come on. Okay. Stick a big metal plate on the wall using cyan or acrylic? Holy moly. Apartment hunting right now, looking at a big enough space for me to stream as well as just exist. Well, are you planning on, are you looking for an apartment to live alone with other people? How many people, if so? It depends, right? Like I can tell you about me, but I live in a 1-bedroom where, you know, we have a desk. We have a desk in the living area, which is mine, and we have a desk in the like the bedroom, which is the other one, and that's my partner's. But like, yeah, it depends. It depends. It's kind of rough in some way because it takes up a lot of space to have a desk in the first place. Living alone here is impossible. Looking here with 2 others. Oh, okay, got it. So in your case, like I live with 2 others, by the way, before this. I lived in a 3-bedroom situation as well, and you know, at that point it was just like anybody else would, right? You put your desk in your own room. I don't remember. Did I have a C-stand then? Yeah, I think I did purchase one anyway because I had to. Like it was, yeah, otherwise it was very shaky and stuff, so yeah, it's tough, but yeah, that's one way, I suppose. All right, so stabs are finally on. That took a while. So we'll do PP plate, some people were saying. Shall we do plate foam because of this whole thing being so flexy? I think plate foam will probably balance it out. I don't think it'll sound too good without it. I think I'll put a plate foam on it. Is this supposed to be disattached? Or just like this, bent over it? I guess that's fine. I just opted to use a lighter camera, still shakes, but I have true top down, so it's nice. Yeah. I mean, true top down is just convenient for people to see what's going on, right? Any intention to ever run OG Dolce again? I do have intention to have that run again, yes. The only thing kind of stopping us is really just vendor availability and things like that, like logistical factors, ultimately. So yeah, it's something that's been brought up already with some people that I'm talking with. I did want to wait until Blue Alert was completely over, which it now basically is, which is good. But yeah, I mean, it would eventually happen, yes. When exactly, I have no date for you, I'm sorry. Okay, this part here is annoying me, so I'm just gonna cut it. There we go, that's a lot better. I'm not sure how I feel about MTNU. I think I like the profile myself. It definitely is different, yeah. Not to mention, you know, the font and other things that you might consider aesthetically speaking. I feel like it looks a bit comical. Yeah, that's actually kind of fair, to be honest. Do you know which keyboard was the first one to be sold with foam? Wasn't it Jelly Epoch? The first one? The one that really became popular? Jelly Epoch, I remember, was the one with all the foam, right? Like plate and the P foam thing and the whole thing, I think was Jelly Epoch. Diego, is top mounted PC mount generally considered not great? Who said that? I don't think that's true. Did someone ever say that before? There's some nice PCB top mount boards out there, right? Like, I remember one of the ones that always comes to my mind, at least, when people mention PCB mount is PCB top mount is the Jur A06 or the Jur 80, it's called. It's basically a Cherry G80 TKL, like a Cherry G80 styled TKL, which had no plate. It was plateless, and basically you just had a PCB mounted to the top piece, with screws. The ASCII F is PCB top mount as well, which I thought was pretty good. But in general, I think it's essentially just plateless, right? But you have top mount like features by you know, by bolting it up to the top piece. So you have a little bit of that extra rigidity from screws, really. But I think it's pretty good. I personally find it pretty good. So if anybody said that it's bad, I think they've maybe just never tried it. Yeah, I don't think I would discount it. That and the Mr. Suit really made P foam. I think the Owlab stuff that really made the P foam, plate foam, case foam, like the full 3 foam experience a thing for sure. Flex cuts did exist before, like for stuff in general, but not to the extent, I think. What about bottom mount? Is that considered not great generally? It's not so much that it's considered not great. It's that it's alternatively, it's like the, I guess it's like the, if you've tried bottom mount, you know that it essentially involves bolting the assembly to one of the 2 pieces, right? It's either the top or the bottom. But when you try bottom mount, I think the first thing that usually comes to mind for most people who try it is, it's kind of more rigid feeling compared to top mount, right? So it's like if you have your mechanism to change rigidity on typing feel can be through the plate as well, right? So if you have a top mount with just a stiffer plate, you can just do a stiffer mounting that way, right? But when you try bottom mount with the same material, it just feels a little bit stiffer, and it's like why do bottom mount when you can have designed it for top mount, you know? I think that's what a lot of people might think when they first try bottom mount. It's like why is bottom mount a thing when top mount could have been, right? So it really depends. So K-Mac, yeah, the K-Mac is probably the most iconic example. The K-Mac 1, which is a Korean TKL that had bottom mount solely as the option to mount it. And that one had quite a few like mounting positions, so it was a pretty stiff feeling board in general. Another thing that, for example, like bottom mount tends to affect is the sound of the board. And I will say personally, the K-Mac is not a particularly good sounding board. It's just kind of very average. Yeah, I'm not considering not considering tray mount, okay? Bottom mount excluding tray mount entirely. Tray mount involves mounting things to also the middle of the board, right? Like you have an enclosure like a tray, and then you have mounting points in the middle as well. So excluding tray mount, I'm considering bottom mount where it's just like tabs on the plate, or like tabs on the plate attached to the bottom piece as a way of like keeping the whole assembly down. Yeah, so I would consider, like literally speaking, bottom mount, you could say anything mounted to, you know, the bottom piece. But I think tray mount and bottom mount are different in that regard. People will technically call bottom mount those cases where you have a 2-piece case, so you have a top and the bottom piece, and you selectively attach the PCB plate assembly to the bottom piece, not the top piece. that specifically is what a lot of people will call bottom mount, and I think the KMAC TKL is probably the most iconic example, and probably one of the oldest examples, prominent enough, of course, to have it. And I would say it's like a pretty average board. It looks nice though, because it's a board that has these nice, very sharp corners. Kind of just looks like a nice box shape, and it's like, yeah, it's just like a nice box, and it has cone feet, which kind of make the board look like it's floating a little bit, and it just like has that like iconic TKL look, right? And that's why people liked the KMAC back in the day, and it was Korean, and Korean customs were the rage at the time, right? So there was that. Oh wait, is this the right spacebar? Is this a what? I'm so confused. Oh, this is a 7U? Oh, my bad. It was a 7U. This is a very strange layout to me. Thought it was a 625, but no, it's a 7U. Okay. So yeah, it kind of depends on the implementation. Top mount is the same. Like top mount and bottom mount have the same constraints, in the sense that, number one, because you are bolting the assembly using these tabs, whether it's on the PCB or the plate, doesn't matter. The constraint is that you have to have enough bezel space for those screws to fit, right? Because you need to drill a hole into those pieces, the case pieces that it attaches to, and you have to have enough clearance for the screw to go in, and you know, basically you're not like, you know, no part is gonna bulge out or something like that. Like you just have to have the clearance for it. So that's the same constraint. Another constraint is going to be that the mounting is going to determine how the board feels, right? How the assembly feels based on the position of where those mounting positions are, right? Like where the screws are. And that can also affect, for example, like very basic things like whether or not your plate PCB is secure, properly secure. Like you don't have like, because if you have like, you know, these like tabs were like too far in the middle, like certain corners could bend in, right? And you don't want that. So just need to make sure that that's covered, right? Like you're properly doing proper mounting positions to, you know, structurally like secure the PCB and plate assembly. So that's kind of like important in those in top mount and bottom mount in particular. And this applies to gasket mount, like the pin mounts, like the ones that like the Neo 60, or like those PCB gasket mounts, the ones that have little like point gaskets essentially. Those, you know, it also depends where you place those gaskets, that it determines how the board will feel. And sometimes it can feel pretty crappy because it's misplaced in some location that is too like too central, or like too maybe off from a corner, and it just like makes the corner dip, or they're too close together, so it makes certain parts of the board feel extra stiff, or the sound just doesn't like sound as good compared to some other boards that you might have tried, that kind of stuff. Do you have a favorite mounting? Yeah, personally I like top mount a lot because so two reasons. I like that top mount is a little bit on the stiffer side, so I don't mind slightly stiffer mounting, because you can always adjust your the way the whole thing feels by changing, let's say, the plate material, right? Or like full plate to half plate. That's another way you can modify the way it feels and sounds, right? So I think top mount kind of has a good balance of all that. Another thing that I do like about top mount in particular is that it's the way that it keeps the PCB plate assembly away from the bottom piece. It kind of allows a bit of the sound to develop. Some people find that actually to be a negative thing, because it means the case can sound really hollow. Like if you have a very like a spacious case on the inside, or like certain acoustic features of the board allow the sound to be kind of like a little tin can or whatever, like kind of like a, it sounds like a hollow space in there. Top mount, I think, tends to exacerbate that the most, I would say. And so in some particular keyboards, top mount doesn't sound like, it sounds just extra hollow compared to other mounting potentials in that board. So you know, you can see it on some boards that have top mount and O-ring. When you do O-ring, because of that gasket contact, it kind of dampens a lot of that like extraneous noise that you don't want to hear, and compared to top mount, it sounds better, right? But it will feel different, right? So it kind of changes that, and so like you just have to consider those things. I personally like top mount because it's sort of like a good balance between all those things. And I think like if you have issues with the interior of the case sounding a little off, you know, you always have the possibility of whatchamacallit, of putting like a little bit of shelf liner or something like that, right? Or case foam. So, but I would say like top mount in particular for like TKLs, larger layouts and top mount, I think they're pretty nice. Smaller layouts like 60%, I think 60% and like gasket mount are pretty good in general. Like 65% and gasket mount, I think they tend to be pretty nice. I think because you're essentially constraining that to a smaller case. I think with gasket mount, it sounds like more consistent and uniform, and that can be kind of pleasant. So I think for smaller layouts, like gasket mount is pretty nice. But yeah, that's just me. My opinion. Why are these switches named after the Toyota FJ400? I thought these were named after some film thingy, right? Like camera film. Sorry but for me, no reverb, no life. Right. So I feel like it gives a little bit of personality to the board to have that kind of variable sound from the case. That's born from the case, because you can always switch, you know, change switches and the plate and whatnot. But I think you know, board designs by the case design, and I think the reverb that comes from it is what gives it kind of personality. Yeah, I do find that top mount and smaller boards tends to feel a little bit stiffer. It depends on the mounting, but it does feel on the stiffer side. And I think gasket mount tends to shine a little bit more on those on the smaller layouts. Is there a difference if it's MX or EC? Yes, because EC is a completely different ball game. Because in EC, unlike other things, like the compression between the PCB and the plate comes from those screws that go through the PCB. You know the million screws that see in EC boards that go through the PCB and get attached to a plate, or in the case of like the satellite that we recently saw, that one had standoffs where you have screws on both sides and it kind of like sandwiches everything together nicely and evenly. That evenness, that uniformity in how it's sandwiched is crucial to EC components. Like an improperly screwed on toper build can sound really off, like can sound very poorly. Like stabs can basically malfunction in terms of sound. Like can sound really like they just don't, like they shouldn't be there. When you are like you don't properly screw the little screws on all evenly and properly. And so that's why I always recommend people to just, you know, tighten until it's like nice and finger tight, but not too much, right? Because when you do extra tightening on screws, the problem is that some people might apply too much force on one. But finger tight kind of gives you the exact moment. It gives you the exact moment the point of resistance happens, and so it's and then you can go from there. You say like a quarter of a turn for everything, or like an eighth of a turn for everything else after it's finger tight. But that's important. You need to be mindful of those things. Just like bold modded IBM versus IBM losing standoffs. Yes, yeah, exactly right. That's exactly what it is. It's because in EC or in buckling spring, right, and like that compression, that like even separation and even compression between the PCB and the plate is super important for the switch's like intended functionality. So I think, like, notwithstanding, like, like, assuming that now you kind of have covered that, you have everything proper. For EC, I think the problem with EC is that the comparison is different. Like, you end up having, like, in EC you have, like, what the comparison to EC is OEM boards, right? Like, you have OEM topre, right? That's the standard to which you're comparing a lot of your EC stuff. There's no gold standard for topre, really, like, or not for topre, but for, like, custom EC builds. There's no gold standard for it. It's a new territory. It's something new that people are exploring with metal cases and these EC custom builds. So there's no standard for it, and so it's not fair to compare a full aluminum case with an EC build, right, to your all plastic HKB, or even your plastic case real force with a steel plate. It's not fair, even if the internals are kind of the same, because the case is different already. You have this ABS case or whatever, right? But this is just like comparing MX builds with injection mold cases versus aluminum. Completely different, even with the same internals. So I think for EC, it's a bit of an unexplored territory, and a bit of, like, people will figure out those preferences themselves, but you will, in terms of, like, long time enthusiasts, they'll always compare it to a standard, and the known standard for that is the OEM board. In MX, we have more established standards and more, like, popular themes and recurring things that people like, or specific features that people are looking for and people like. And that's because it's been years of people, like, exploring custom work in MX builds. But, let's imagine, like, people start doing things like with buckling spring or whatever, beam spring. Like, for example, the reproduction Model F series, like the new Model F from Ellipse, right? Those boards, like, the gold standard to compare it to is the actual IBM Model F, right? And that's what, like, the vintage keyboard people will compare it to, right? But it's going to be like that. Like, it's just a very, very different comparison. Have you built any HE boards? I've only done modding of, like, a Wu-Ting 60, and I put that into a tray mount case before. I've modded a Wu-Ting 60 for somebody else, just in the Wu-Ting case. I've done that. I have not done, like, the Venom PCBs from Geon, for example, or, like, the new red HE switches that AE boards just released. I have not done those, for example. I have not done anything past, like, the couple or three, or I don't know how many. I think I've done like 2 or 3 maybe, like, Wu-Ting builds. And that's been pretty much the extent of my exposure to Hall Effect. So my frame of reference for that one is pretty small. I heard a soft plate isn't a good idea, but I also saw Wu-Ting selling PC plates. I'm not sure, honestly. But why is a PC plate not a good idea? I guess the first thing to know is what people think is, like, why is it a bad idea to have a PC plate for that one? It's just a tray mount for a Wu-Ting 60. Can buckling spring be modded? To some extent, there's bolt modding, which is to re-secure the rivets of that attach the assembly together. Using, like, it originally comes with plastic rivets in, like, Model M, and so you can replace those with metal bolts, which kind of retains a little bit more of that rigidity in keeping the assembly together. In the case of, there's also, like, floss modding, which is inserting, like, super floss, which is like a thicker, kind of fluffier type of floss in the spring of the buckling spring itself, and it basically kills the reverberation that occurs inside of the buckling spring switch. Well, there's small things like that, and then people, kind of go from there. I think those are the 2 main ones that people talk about. They say the switches can become loose as the PCB flexes. So that means... So hold on. But that to me sounds like it could be an issue of... Do Wu-Ting PCBs, I don't recall, by the way, do Wuting PCBs not have PCB mount like holes for the switches? Like, don't they come with 5-pin switches? Because I guess if they are 3-pin switches, like with none of the these guys, right? The PCB mount pegs on the sides of the switches, right? Then they're not secure, right? So yeah, sure. I guess if you have a hot swap socket build, right? I mean, they're essentially like hot swap actually, because it's it's like Hall effect, right? They have 3. Okay. That's probably why then. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. I imagine if they were 5-pin switches, that problem wouldn't be as prominent. I mean, I personally think it would be good for them to have 5-pin switch support. First of all, right? And yeah. All right, that's done. Let's put this into the board, I guess. I think this is gonna sound just like Alex's build because it's basically the same HMX switch, PP plates, and the plate foam. I think that's what he did. It's a magnet that could have inconsistency, so the plate bends too much, the switches won't fall out. All right. Okay, so let's see. You got these little gasket socks, sort of, with little. So these are interesting. They're basically little socks, right? They're little socks with a little kind of like pin, just like a gasket pin, and these will go onto the leaf springs on the case. Gam has 400 songs in his Gam radio, and I think I hear this song every stream. It's funny, isn't it? Maybe he has many versions of the song in the playlist. I think that might be why. Probably, right? I mean, it's gotta be, right? Well, how else would it be? And I think I haven't replayed the playlist from scratch, so to speak. In the past few streams, at least, I've like this current actually maybe it did replay, I don't know, I'm not sure. I feel like he does. He probably does. He loves plastic. Like, not even kidding. He loves this song. Loves this song. And a lot of people do, mind you, but yes. All right, so this is kind of like a leaf spring gasket mount. It's like point pin mount, I guess. I can show you what it looks like from this angle, perhaps. There. So these little gaskets, these little leaf springs are attached to the bottom case using screws, and then there's these copper leaf springs, and then there's a pin here that just kind of lodges into a hole in that leaf spring, and then it just, it'll be very, very flexy because there's basically a ton of room for this to go down onto. So it's going to be super flexy for sure. And then it just gets closed from the top. So not much compression from the top, I think, aside from yeah, I think just like a minor bit of compression, but not excessive, I think. But yeah, pretty much all of the downward forces just gets translated into motion, so it's going to be very, very, you know, it's going to be moving quite a bit. All right, so there it is. There's our build. What keycaps should we put on this, eh? Yeah, you can see from this side, this is super flexy. Because of those leaf springs. Right? I wish Green Alert was here. Yeah, the, what is that called? Verdant Retro. Or did that one have an alert kit? Forget. GNK Arabic? Oh, that could be a fun set. Yeah. Do you guys want to see beige on this? Beige on silver? Good old classic. Yeah, I know it's orange key set. I know about it because he asked me about the kitting. He asked me a few questions about kitting and Blue Alert and whatnot. Kind of want Keycabo, Triumph Adler, Neo. Oh, that would be super sick. Triumph Adler is such a nice colorway in general. That like subtle teal, bluish, and the gray. Oh, it's good. It's a good colorway, man. I'm a little biased. I like bluish tone stuff, turquoise, blue, that kind of stuff. The GMK set I saw was off. The old one is pretty far off, yeah. The first set, the GMK Triumph Adler from like 2016, that one's pretty, or 2015 actually. I think it was for drop. That one's pretty off, yeah. Yeah, that one's old, super old. Why hasn't a universal GMK Greg face kit been made yet? No idea. No idea. What was the first GMK set you bought? My first GMK set was GMK Carbon Round 1. I actually did not purchase that one. GMK Carbon, I actually traded a set of SA something at the time. This was like late in 2016 for a set of GMK Carbon. And that was my first GMK set. My first GMK set was GMK Carbon. This was back when SA was also pretty popular, so it was a fair trade value-wise. Okay, let's do that GMK classic, or GMK Arabic, whatever it was called. The what's his name? Green is the color of Islam. What was his name? Smokey? Was it Smokey? I forget his name. Anyway, that was a funny introduction. I remember. Anyway, yes, him. I bought fabric on a whim. Still want Prussian blue. You know which set I want to get? I want to get GMK Winkler, but I haven't bought it because I'm trying to save money. I'm going on a trip next month, and so I just don't want to overdo any spending. You still have it, right? Yes, GMK Carbon R1. Yeah, I still have it. It's over there. Yeah. Yeah, Smokey. Okay, let me go get the GMK set. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. That was fast. I found it pretty quickly. GMK Classic Arabic, right here. So I guess I have a choice actually. I do have the Greek alphas, the ones in blue as well. So we can try Greek alphas, or we can do the Arabic ones, which I think are all here. These ones are green. We can do green, we can do blue. Whichever way works fine with me, so you guys feel free to have an input on that. Or maybe we can just do a quick poll. I'm gonna make a poll with just switches. No keycaps. Let's see. / poll alphas. Arabic green or Greek blue. Okay. In the meantime, I get other stuff. Okay, so 1.5. What the? This long range of hertz to look at. Yeah, it's an interesting choice, huh? This is like a more recent thing too, I think. With this whole with this choice of where the heck are those other keys? Oh, I think I need someone from over there. But let's get some of the Afro stuff. It's one U down there. Okay. I don't get how Smokey offended people. It was, if I recall, I don't know the exact full story, so I don't want to like offend anybody in particular about it, but it was something about saying that green is the color of Islam, and it was just kind of like out of pocket, I guess. Just like it was like a very like asserted claim. It just rubbed people off, if I recall correctly. But I don't know this full story, so I really don't want to narrate anything else in particular because I don't know about it. What the heck is this? That's a 1U? Okay. Arabic green. Alright, Arabic green it is. I'll put the alphas first so I don't forget what's what. His Hangul set also rubbed some people the wrong way. Yeah, it was not like the first time, right? I forget which set came first, but it was this whole thing about his like cultural sets, and it just, there were some things said that were like kind of like, how do you even, like, do you actually understand the culture sort of thing? Because, okay, I remember the Korean said it was weird because it had these, like, elements of, like, KBBQ and I don't even know, whatever things, and we're like, I don't know if that's, like, does it really capture something Korean? Because it was called, like, GMK Taegukgi. Taegukgi is the Korean flag, by the way. And it had these, like, novelties of, like, KBBQ and, like, whatever else, and, like, I remember seeing the set and being like, wow, that doesn't really feel Korean. It just feels like the perception of what somebody else thinks is Korean and mashed into a set. And I think that was the impression people got from it. It was whack. I remember basically thinking, like, it feels like a misperceived cultural set. So it felt like a little bit misrepresented. I think the references are all about food. Then the problem is this: KBBQ is not like, it's like, I don't know how to put it to you, but like, it's not like GMK Taegukgi as like the representation of the flag, and the JYMB made a video on this set. Yes. There was this whole debacle. It's been so long at this point. I don't really care, but and you know, I remember I didn't purchase it because I just thought it was kind of silly, like kind of like, oh haha, like wow, someone really did this, and just left it at that. But you know. Let's see. So is this a 1.5 here? Oh, I guess it is. All right. Let's see. I'm supposed to have some one use down here. I guess this will do. Okay, this is. Oh wow, that's confusing. What the heck do I put on this? I guess I'll just wing it. What do you even put on this? Oh, that's so confusing. I guess I'll just put the page up, page up, page down. Honestly, had he just branded as a Hangul set with a KBBQ deathmat, that would have been fine. But he had this "I appreciate Korean culture so much" vibe to his IC, but it was just generic. Yeah, it was something like that. It was basically like this like fascination with the culture, but a general lack of understanding. Like it lacked the depth of understanding, and so, you know, it was just like, okay, all right, dude, do what you will. I guess I'll just do like insert delete or something, or maybe home and end. Wait, no, I already have home and end. Okay, insert and delete sounds fine. I don't know what to put on this third row. There's no R3 key, I think, that fits. An extra R3 key is there. What's R4, R1, R5. Is this an R3 page down? Wow, I'm gonna have two page downs. Or no, is this R2, R3? Oh, it's page up. Oh, okay. Two page ups. At least it fits. Oh, what a bizarre set. Oh well, yeah. Oh well. Oh, I guess I can replace a few things to make it more coherent. I could put FN here, and I could do home end here. Yeah, that'll work. That'll actually work to not repeat any keys. Where's my end key? End here. Boom. Oh, that was difficult. That's a key puller, all right. Yes. This was like a gag gift, like, you know, like a funny gift from Wheat and Regalicious. They sent this, and then hidden in the package was this. you know the joke. Yeah. Yours is the guy she tells you not to worry about. Yes, thank you. That exactly. Okay, so I guess it is a TKL in a 75%. That's basically what this really is. It's a TKL in a 75% because it has the full nav cluster. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 keys. It has an FN, just that's an extra bit, and then you get arrows. You get the bottom row. I guess you're missing a right control, sure enough. And then you have 3 keys, which I guess you could put the, you know, the print, scroll, lock, pause keys over here. So it's like a full TKL, but compacted into a 75. It's interesting. Any link to the massive puller? There's no link because but it was, I can tell you it was made by Qwertykeys and Regalicious. Maybe you can contact Qwertykeys. Wheat like you know, like to make bread, you know, wheat Qwertykeys. He makes keycaps. He makes these cool little pine blank keycaps. But he assisted in making this with Regalicious, I believe. And so yeah. He might know. Regalicious, I think, doesn't have a Reggie doesn't have a an Instagram like presence at all, and like I don't think he uses it at all, and so he won't, you know, be available on there. But you can actually look him up on the Novel Keys Discord server. I think the Novel Keys Discord server, Regalicious is probably active there. He's pretty active in that community. But yeah. Quill Wheaton. Wheat. Yeah, no. Qwertykeys. All right. So let's put some caps on this, eh? All right. Some beige goodness. Let's see. I recently got this keycap that looks pretty sick. It's a robot with these like camel markings. Super cool. I could put that one. I like it. I got a couple of beige stuff. I got maybe I'll do this bogan. I'll do I was thinking of this Earl, maybe. There's Earl. It's beige, nice and beige. I wish I had more beige and green sort of stuff, but I don't have any beige and green. I have a lot of beige and blue, but no beige and green. Maybe I'll do the XO boy from Actually, you know what? Let me switch those positions. The Exo Boy is kind of tall, so I like them on the corners. Man, this keycap's tight. I still get Exo Boy and Astro Boy confused. That's totally fair. I think a lot of people would. Diego, have you tried the Neo Core? No, I have not. Not the 60, 65 ones. But I mean, people generally really like the Neo series of stuff. So I personally would be okay recommending any of the Neo stuff. I haven't really seen a lot of people complain about Neo boards. So if that's your cup of tea, it might be a good idea. It might be an okay idea. Also, the side profile is different, Frank. If you're looking for the Neo stuff and you like the simpler side profiles from the Core series, then that might be your thing. That too, I like the CU side profile more. Oh, okay. So you do. Alright, are people back from ads? I think ads might have just played. Oh no, they're starting soon. Oh, I'll wait until people are back from ads, but for now, let's just get the typing thing ready. I guess in the meantime, I'll check a few messages here that I got. Okay. Alright. Huh? What's that? Oh. Looks great. Alright, let's prep the typing. Are the ads done yet? No, not yet. Come on. Are these ads gonna play or not? It says ads starting soon for my side and it's not showing yet. Okay, well, I have a feeling if I start, are they gonna play or no? What in the world? What happened to this navigation? What the heck? Oh, there it is. It's playing now. The ads. So weird. Okay. Alright. I'll wait. It's for Overwatch. Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm back just in time. Yes, you are just in time. I'm just waiting for people to come back from ads. And, okay. Are people back from ads? Alright, awesome. Alright. Let's try typing on this. So we got a PT750, Platinum PT750 from Percent Studio. This is being manufactured by Owlab and sold by Qwertykeys. They're slated to run around early March, is what I got as an estimate. It starts at 499 I think US dollars. Not cheap. It's like 400, it's like almost $500 plus, shipping or whatever, I guess. So not cheap, but they're running a few dozen units, first come first serve as a sale. So it's kind of like a small batch sort of run, because I think they know that the interest on this might be limited. But nonetheless, if you're into this kind of like curvature heavy like aesthetic, you can check out the exclamation build command and the Notion page linked in there. But this is currently built with HMX FJ400 switches. These are the 80s retro film switches, and these are 58 gram bottom out and 3.8 millimeter total travel, and these are currently on a polypropylene plate with plate foam, and that's the only foam that we have. There's no case foam and there's no PE foam. Okay, and we have classic Arabic, I think, is a key set for this. All right, let's go. Oh, what the? Oopsie. That's HMX for sure. Yeah, pretty high pitch, I think. But the factory lubing of these switches are pretty good. Yeah, sounds like a keyboard. It sure does. All right, but yes, this is flex cut 1.2 millimeter PCB, which you would expect it to sound quite thin, but the plate foam helps it. It's because I think if we had not used the plate foam, it would sound quite muted, so it helps with that. But yeah, and switches are HMX FJ400s. Just plate foam, yes. All right, here's the mods. This one's a little stuck for some reason. I don't know why the enter is kind of sluggish. I might have not pressed it in properly. Oh, my enter's kind of sluggish. It's getting stuck on something. Oh, there we go. That was weird. Diego, if you have it nearby, can you show my FMJ? I miss it. Oh yeah, sure. I can bring it over. One sec. In the meantime, you guys can see what this looks like. All right, I'll be right back. Why was it in limbo for so long? It got like limboed in mail, in like USPS mail stuff. Yeah. Alright, I'll be right back. I got a $100 check today from USPS. Whoa! Okay, Rich. Wow. Must be nice getting checks from USPS. Okay, I'm back. Just looking for Lamp's board here. That was a pain. Oh, yeah, okay. Hi, back. Ooh, ah, ah. Alright. Alright, so this is Lamp's FMJ that still need to build. Or I guess there is a build that I guess would work, but we don't have a way to plug it in. It's right here. Here you go, Lamp. Did I give you stickers? I don't think so. I don't think so. What does this have again? I forget what these switches were. These on pandas on Aloe? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the board. Has some scuffs, like a little scuff over here, like a little stripping of the anode, but it's nice. So many, don't flip it over. It's just this though. It's just this part here. This I think is pretty minor. Oh, and I guess this part here. It's okay, not a big deal. The cable burn is ugly. Yeah, it's so obvious it's from the cable, huh? Yeah. Yeah, FMG. But look at this. PT750 is huge. This is like as big as a TKL, as a normal TKL, because of the wider bezels. It looks cool though, not gonna lie. Okay. I have to say these PT750 boards or the 990, right? Or you know which one this reminds me of? Is it the Space 65? It also has these like larger bezels on the side, right? This you know what this reminds me of? Hello? Yes? Keyword Institute here. Ah, yes. I received the 75%. It's like a phone. Hello? Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Anyway. That's what it reminds me of. I think it's pretty funny. I don't know why. It's just because it's longer like this, and it has the top and bottom bezels like that. It reminds me of a child's tablet. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty. It's kind of cute though. I think this particular look is honestly cute. Yeah. So if you wanna take a look at this PT750, you know, I can wipe it down here, a little dusty. It's actually kind of cute. It's very unique in the sense that like it has like every single feature of this board is very like curved, like every single part, like from down here to here. Like the design honestly is cool in terms of like what they've accomplished here is it's different. Like look how the bottom piece is also split up. Like it's like a 2-piece bottom piece actually. They have this bottom portion here. You see this seam, right? So this seamed part is like one kind of like bottom portion that seats the foot of the board, so to speak, which is the weight, right? And then they have like a frame around it. It's like a mid-piece frame, and that mid-piece frame sort of like hosts the I think it hosts, like it actually holds the parts where you have the ball catch, right? So like if I like open this back up, right, that frame portion is the one that has the ball catch and the leaf springs and stuff. And then you have the top piece that has the other half of the ball catch system, and you know, just holds the plate there. So pretty neat. I personally think this design, like, you know, this board, while, you know, albeit it's not the cheapest, it's unique. Like if you're someone who likes this particular proportion of bezels, or you wanted something more rounded, because honestly keyboards can feel kind of boring when they're just sharp cornered, or just like very classic looking. This is a cool, different take on design, and they explain it pretty thoroughly in the Notion page. But it's cool. I think it's genuinely a pretty cool approach. One thing that, for example, you know, if I were to get this unit, I would probably get the no flex cut PCB. I think just generally speaking, they sound better. For a lot of builds, you don't have to rely on the foam as much, and so I would personally go for the no flex cut build. But yeah, like every single part of this has these curved, like this curvature thing. Like this inner portion, it has a small like divot here, but it actually goes all the way around the entire layout portion. So it's like kind of like slightly sunk in. It's super interesting. It's a pretty unique take on design. Is that PCB 1.6, 1.2? The non-flex, I don't know actually. That would be a good question. So let me take a look at let's take a look at that page. We can take a look at it together. So where are you? Browser. Okay, so Platinum PT750. Okay, so they just kind of talk about the arcs and the curves, right? They talk about the little badge, the little cute flower looking thing at the bottom. They talk about this whole curvature and design thing. This is basically like that whole thing about like concentric circles and like the iPhone, the Apple start of design, where you basically have no sudden jumps in curvature. Like this whole thing is this whole design theory thing about like curves looking very natural and it being very mathematically perfect, essentially. There's this whole thing about it. You can read through that if you want. Ball catch mechanism, magnetic connectors, we talked about that. Yeah, it's nice to not... I do like the little pogo connector for the daughter board. I think it's nice to get rid of cables. But yes, 1.2 flex cut and 1.6 millimeter no flex cut. Both hot swap, so I think layout wise you'll be locked into this layout, which, you know, okay. You do get flex cut or non-flex cut PP plate here and FR4 via compatible, and you do get step caps lock support. 6063 aluminum, PVD stainless steel weight. And then they have photos linked of the different boards. $4.99 per kit. One case in any color, one PCB and a plate. PCBs for 55, plates for 20. That's pretty good. Honestly, anytime I see these plates for 20, I'm like, damn, that's cheap. Cause like if you yourself as an individual try to run out of, you know, plates, it's not that cheap. So these, you know, plates for $20 is pretty damn cheap. You know, this is like, you know, like, because, you know, if you do it yourself, you have to consider shipping and all these things. Let's see, PCB of your choice, P sheet, PCB foam, plate, case foam, etc., gaskets, backups. Let's take a look at those IRL photos. Where are they? Here. Oh, cool. So this is spray coat. I found Kazewa and AliExpress. Those plates are cheap. Yeah. Ooh, this color is cute. This one's the one Scoop Bar had. Super cute. Bubble gum. This is like a light pink. Almost looks closer to white. Pretty cute. Linen, silver. Oh, they don't have the other ones? Oh, I wanted to see the ice blue one. Ah, bummer. Okay. Linen is kind of like sort of cream beigeish color. Also pretty nice. Nice photos. And then silver art key. Cute. Yeah, no, looks nice. Oh, that's a cool. That's a cool photo. But yeah. So I think that should about cover. Is linen going to be the matrix matte coating texture? I'm not sure because this is Owlab production. So if you've seen any spray coated Owlab stuff, then maybe that's pretty much what it's going to be like. The Manu is, I think it's just a color name, yeah. I don't think it will be the same as Matrix. Matrix has kind of like their own line of stuff. I'm not sure if it's like a specific third party that does the finishing though. So that I can't like confirm for you. Not really sure. I don't think so though. I think it's just a name. I would advise, if you're curious though, to maybe take a look at other spray coated Owlab stuff or Qwertykeys branded stuff. I think that should be the right texture to the spray coated colors. Yeah. Yep. So well, I suppose that's about everything for this particular board to cover. But if you have any specific questions about this board or anything else, you can let me know. What will you be building next? Somebody asked, I think. Have you seen the new exploded C when keyless 60? No, I have not. What is this board? This one. Let me see. Oh, the Toro 60. Yeah, this is the one that Patty and Alex built, right? Looked cute. It looked cute. So cute. Toro the Shiba Inu. Oh, that's kind of cute. Oh, exploded spacebar, like the Nissan boards. Alright, that's honestly pretty cute. Look at that HHKB one. Chinese win keyless. They're cute. It's a pretty adorable design. What type of mounting is this? Classic top mount. Oh, okay, cool. Classic top mount. It's nice. Have you seen the Comic Sans keyboard? I've seen stuff with Comic Sans on it, but not sure which one is the Comic Sans keyboard. I don't know about that. Anyway, Rue MC, I'm building. Let me see what's next. Taking a look at my queue here. Let's see what's next. Where's my timeline here? Okay, that's done. Okay, I think the next ones should be, well, I'm waiting to build lamps FMJ with clears. I have the switches and stuff. I think I'm just waiting for his cable. Right, lamp. And then I'm waiting for Mr. Koopa's PCB. Oh, and then I have the Photon from Canon Keys. I think Manic Geek built this one. It's like a smoke. It's like a smoke black color injection molded case. The Photon. I should be building that one pretty soon as well. I think those 3 boards will probably be some of the last few things I do before I take my vacation in March, most likely. From the guy who made the Universe keyboard? Oh, yeah. But yeah, Philco, Photon, and FMJ are probably the next few builds. So TKL for the FMJ, Photon is a 65, and the Philco is a TKL as well. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, this PT750, pretty cute, I think. Definitely not cheap, but I personally applaud Percent's efforts on this particular board. I think it's this leaf spring mechanism is kind of cool. I actually appreciate some of the things that they've done to sort of like polish it up from the 990, because I built the 65% before. But ball catch system, like pogo connectors thing, and just like a few like just kind of like quality of life stuff here in general of this board has definitely like gone up. So I kind of I appreciate that quite a lot. It's pretty nice, but I mean definitely have to like this particular aesthetic. And I think sound wise, this I have the flex cut version here, so I was kind of like not forced to use a play foam, but like it's very likely that you would have to. I mean, another thing that I could have done is to remove the play foam, not use play foam, and just tape the PCB up. So basically make it a 1.2 millimeter no flex cut PCB by just taping them up. It's doable too. It would have been different as well, but you know, it's another choice. I didn't end up doing that, but you know, it also changes the way the sound is for the board. But yeah. Your Drua Moe PCB showed up. Nice. What? Heated screw in for those stabs, or is it coaster stabs? What are you talking about? I thought those were PCB mount. For the Philco? Oh, I thought they were PCB mount. Should be. I would, if it were a plate mount, it would be a waste of money. I'm not gonna lie, but why would I get a custom PCB to use plate mount? Why? For the step caps? Just for that alone? No way, dude. Come on. Anyhow, well, that's that, friends. Let's wrap it up here. I do appreciate the folks who rated earlier. I believe that was Captain Sterling and Alex. Thank you for the raid once again. Alright, let's see who is currently streaming. We see, oh, EPP is live. Apiary is live. Tyler's live. Tyler's building the Neo 60 CU. Some cool builds. Apiary's building an HBCP, a Heidi Bush Compact. Wow. Haven't seen a HBCP build in a minute. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay. It's a percent board. He's gone pretty weird with his aesthetics. Yeah, I mean they you know, they're changing stuff up, I guess. She just got mad at me for calling Box CP obsolete. Box CP is kind of cool though. What do you mean? Box CP is a cool board. Box CP is basically TXCP, but Bach. Where is it? Where's my browser? This is the Box CP. It's basically a TXCP, but Bach. It's just impossible to find anything for that keyboard? Oh, because it's like proprietary essentially? I guess? This is top mount, right? Oh, look at that stiffy brass plate. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that mounting point smack dab in the middle of the space bar. Holy stiffness. Good times, man. I remember when everything was even mounted like this, like the Jane V1. Jane V1, Duck Orion, V2, Mech 27, Mira, Moon, all those boards. Jaguar V1, they all had this like symmetrical 8-point mounting for all these boards. TX, obviously. Yeah, back in the day when it was simple. But simple didn't mean necessarily like comfortable. It's so 2018. Yeah, this IC is indeed from 2018. Yeah, 2018 IC. Sonny just bought a mirror. Yeah, he was asking me about it. I have a mirror too. Why a TX Suwa PCB wouldn't work? It should work, right? I think. Isn't that Pudsy's favorite keyboard? Yeah, it was for a long time, I think. I think he's been using a different one now, but it was Pudsy's favorite keyboard. I have it right here. I can show you. The mirror. Is it this one? Yeah, right here. Bulge 2018 is back in the day now. I know, it's crazy. It's only what? It's 7 years. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. This is my mirror. With GMK Deep Space. This actually is built with Telios. Telios. I don't know what stabs I have on this. Are these cherry stabs? I'm just using. Whoa! They're cherry screw-ins! Back when they were still okay. They're cherry screw-ins. I have cherry screw-ins. Telios on a polycarb plate. Man. Good times. This is old. It sounds okay though. It sounds actually fine. Like you can hear it if you want. But it sounds pretty nice. I think this is why I didn't end up rebuilding it, because it sounded fine to me. But yeah. Yes, Telios were the bee's knees in terms of smoothness for a while. That's true. That is true. Did Boop make this GMK set? Yeah, it was run through Originative. Originative ran this set. You know, I actually was not gonna buy GMK Deep Space, and I fell in the trap of Artisan Collab, like a blind bag for Nightcaps and Boop, because Boop was so hard to get back then. Okay, Booper caps were easy now. They're so easy now. But back then, Boop caps were like so fucking hard to get. Like so hard to get. So I bought GMK Deep Space because I wanted in on the Boop collab, because Boop is one of my like favorite makers. And can you guess what happened? I didn't win jack shit. I didn't win any single keycap. I was so salty. My mail arrived and it was empty. Like, I mean, it was just a key set. I didn't win shit. I didn't win shit. I had to seek everything out aftermarket. It was painful, man. Anyway. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is okay. Calm. Zen. I'll learn. Yeah, I learned quick. Fucking blind bag sucks. Okay, blind bag is blind bag raffle. Come on, I got like, it was just I love a GMK Deep Space rerun. The DCX didn't do it for me. Yeah, maybe. Could ask Boop. And actually, well, I think she has a. I think Omnicollectic Boop. They probably have the capacity to run something now. So, I think they could always partner up with someone to run it, like a vendor. But they, you know, they run an art studio now, and so I feel like they have the capacity to run stuff. So maybe it can be suggested to rerun GMK Deep Space. Alright, well, that's my story time. If you guys have anything else, let me know. But otherwise, you can find me on Discord and other places as usual. I'll see you guys next time, probably either for the FMJ or for the Photon. So that will be happening quite soon. But let's go raid. Let's see, I think we raided Tyler before. If EPP is still alive, we can raid EPP, because I don't think we've raided him in a hot minute. I think we raided Apiary at some point, some time ago. So we can raid extra Prius, please. Alright, folks. If you're coming to the raid for EPP's stream, just ask him about the color red and the color orange, and he'll tell you a little bit more about whether he sees red as orange or as orange as red or red not at all. But yeah. Other than that, he's a cool guy. He's really sweet. He's really helpful. So he also builds keyboards and has recently been building some expensive ones too for his friend. And so yeah. All right, folks. I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Okay. Bye bye.